Hello, gentle viewers. This is App Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the St. Louis Cardinals. Wow, I didn't realize how awful this line looked like until I just now read it. Usual helps Braves beat Cardinals. Somewhere there is somebody sitting in St. Louis right now shaking their fist with rage. How dare you, sir? How dare you? In our last episode, we missed the playoffs again. Although Milwaukee was fucking crazy last season. And the Pittsburgh Pirates even more so. So here's the situation we find ourselves in. We're just gonna have to keep doing the best we can and hope that the right set of circumstances comes into play because there's only one playoff spot in the National League. There is a 1 in 8 chance every single season that we will win the postseason, that we will win the pennant. Now, it's not really a 1 in 8 chance. That would imply that all teams are equal, and some teams are not. Some teams are just so bad off, like the 39 and 115 Cincinnati Redlegs, it's difficult to see them making the postseason. But for the sake of argument, let's say it's 1 in 8 at best. At worst, excuse me, not at best, at worst. That's pretty decent as long as we just keep winning games and getting where we need to get. And then hope that in the right season, one of our players has a breakout season and takes us over the top. That's what we're focused on. That's the only option we have at this point. The pool of freely available talent is now gone. The Negro Leagues are gone. The Independent Leagues are gone. Which means the only way I can get better is either by drafting or by trading with somebody else. Or hoping for player development to succeed. Those are my only 3 choices. Yes, there's free agency, but it's so minor that while that will look, I doubt I'll find anybody that changes our issues here. My owner is fucking delusional. He wants attendance to double. I don't see that happening. Like in OOTP, attendance is very much a black box. Like there isn't an obvious way that you can pull up the game and say, ah, yes, if I do X, Y, and Z, I will get more attendance. I need to win games, and I need to have a reasonable ticket price, and I have both of those things. So I don't know what else you expect me to do. Yeah, that's just it's wild. It is truly wild that they think there's anything I can do to bring more people to the yard that just isn't. I can make the team better, and Lord knows I'm trying to do that. But without a model that runs in great detail with like fan feedback, I don't know why they're not coming. I mean, yes, I could sign somebody that's a fan favorite and hope that that draws more people into the park. That's fair. I just don't think it's really what we're looking for. Um. Anyways, let's go ahead and figure out what we need to do to make the team better. The first most important thing we need Mickey Mantle to be healthy. I'm sure you're tired of hearing it. I'm tired of saying it. We are not going to be a pennant-worthy team without a healthy Mickey Mantle. We just aren't. The margins are that narrow that without Mickey Mantle being his Mickey Mantle best, I just don't see us ever being that competitive. I don't know what we do with Andy Carey, Ken Boyer, and Frank Thomas. That's the classic 2 players for 3 spots, and they're all super young too. Andy Carey can play second base, so there's a future there if and when Red Schoendienst goes in the toilet. Nevertheless, we will persevere and figure out what our next step is. So position player wise, I would like some depth quite badly. And I would like a true center fielder. Then again, I mean, Frank Thomas can muddle around in center field. And Mickey Mantle is obviously the ideal center fielder for this club. If we need to make a roster spot, Gene Woodling is probably first on the block. But even then, I wouldn't do it quickly or easily. The pitching staff is mostly fine. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Haddock's whatever fucking mood he's in, he keeps shooting up and down the prospect charts because of like very minor changes. So Johnny Cox is a nice little addition. Frank Stobbs, Frank Bauman. I could probably use another top tier starting pitcher if I'm being honest with you. That would be pretty nice. Um, yeah. So yeah, I don't really look at this team and see. Yes, we desperately need something. I desperately need Mickey Mantle to be healthy. That is what is required for us to be the kind of team we need to be. That's it. That is the solution to our problems: is having an MVP caliber athlete on the field every day or close to it. Um, Short of importing like an A style pitcher to take some of the pressure off of Johnny Pod Racing, um, yeah. Excuse me. Maybe upgrading the bullpen wouldn't be a terrible idea. Um, Another top armor too there, I think. Excuse me. Would go a pretty long way. But that's kind of what we're looking at as a franchise. It's like we're just in this point in our careers where I'm waiting basically for like Mudcat Grant to force the issue and prove that he is ready to be a starting pitcher. Speaking of that, let us go to player development and start getting people. You fucking suck, dude. You're the absolute fucking worst. Why would you cut the player development budget? You absolute prick. Wow. I didn't even notice that until just now, and that is gross. That is truly awful. Albie Pearson, I would love it if you would get better at playing defense. I know it's not going to be easy, but I think it has to happen. Dick Stigman definitely needs to work on his control. Anybody on the major league roster that could use some TLC. Rocky Colavito, I'd like you to improve the quality of contact. Isn't there a thing I can do to help people stay healthy? Yeah, let's get some strength and conditioning for Mickey Mantle. Let's see if that helps. And then Ernie Banks, please work on your plate discipline. Please. I'm really upset about that. That my fucking owner is like, nah, you don't need a player development budget. Like, we critically need a player development budget. So stupid. It is the very definition of short sighted to cut the player development budget. Oh, do I have to hire coaches? Maybe I do. A gold glove was earned by Rocky Colavito. Of all the people on the St. Louis Cardinals to win a gold glove, he certainly was not the one I expected. But I'm here for it. Um, okay, we're good on coaches. Let's just zippity doo dah down through the awards. I wonder if Colavito won Rookie of the Year. I'd be kind of surprised if he didn't. Really? Who the fuck won Rookie of the Year? Herb Score. Wait, Colavito didn't even qualify. Was he not a rookie? Oh, I guess not. He did play a full season last year. Never mind. Never you mind. Do we have any chance at all? No, Colavito got a handful of votes. So that's that he was never gonna beat Duke Snyder. Who had an amazing season. Look at this ridiculousness here. Of the top 10 MVP candidates, four of them played for the Pirates. That's fucking nuts. Alright, I will vote for Paul Derringer. I'll vote for Mort Cooper. I have a problem with him getting in the Hall of Fame. I just don't think it's very likely. I think Tommy Bridges is already screwed. I don't think he's gonna make it either. I will vote for Ken Keltner and Dutch Leonard and Max Lanier. I feel like Johnny Mize deserves it, even if he wasn't quite as dominant as IRL Johnny Mize was. Schoolboy Row. It's a decent choice. Vote for you. I'll vote for Johnny Vandermeer. I don't know what it is about him that makes him so attractive, unless they're literally counting the rings. Um, this could easily be another year where the voters pitch a shutout. I think Johnny Miles will definitely get some votes. And I can see a couple of the others moving closer to election, but like I don't think that Tommy Bridges has a chance in hell. I just don't. It is what it is. We're just gonna zip on down to the draft. He didn't get any better. That makes me sad. It's not the end of the world, but it does make me a little bit sad. Every time I go to this screen, I'm reminded again what a fucking idiot. Hey Ken, work on your. I wonder if Ken Boyer could play second base. No, he'd be terrible at it. Never mind. He'd be a decent outfielder, but play discipline. Gee, everybody's sailing. It's almost like cutting my fucking budget to the bone was a stupid idea. Poor, I thought it said Busty Zimmerman. No, it says Butsy. What a name. This is an all-time draft class right here. You've got three no doubt Hall of Famers, plus the guy who is a Hall of Famer, even though I'm less convinced about Orlando Cepeda. And Koufax, Clemente, Robinson are all no doubt Hall of Famers. Um, look, Orlando Cepeda is fine, and I'm not like I don't think he cheapens Hall of Fame by having made it. It's just based on like raw standards. I don't know that he's a slam dunk as people said he was, but he's fine. He's just out of Brooks Robinson, Roberto Clemente, or Sandy Koufax, each of whom would seem to be an inner circle Hall of Famer. Norm Cash, who was a very good player for a brief time. Oh, that's funny. I didn't even realize this till I just started saying it. Norm Cash basically has the exact same career as Orlando Cepeda. But yeah, Norm Cash is nowhere near the Hall of Fame, and Orlando Cepeda is. That is so funny. Okay, am I just making that up? Baseball Hall of Fame. Your Orlando Cepeda definitely made it. And Norm Cash definitely did not. That's so funny to me. That is really funny that they're basically the same player, statistically speaking. That's funny. That's wild. Cleve Boyer, underrated, I think many would agree. Same with Daddy Wags here. He used to play for Cleveland. Very briefly in the 60s, as you can see there. But it is a pretty loaded class, and I have no delusions of any of those people making it to me. Fuck you. I want good old Percy Chavez. I cannot take yet another third baseman. I won't take another third baseman. I need pitching. And it seems like this is a decent drop for that. A Gary Bell or an Al Jackson would certainly not go amiss. I think they'd both be pretty good choices, and I think one or both will be there by the time I get to draft. Now, if Sandy Koufax falls to me, I would do a backflip, but I don't think that's going to happen. Nope, there he goes, first overall, as I expected. There goes Clemente, Norm Cash, Orlando Cepeda, Bob Allison. So far, very predictable. Brooks Robinson. That is wild to me. One of the best defensive basemen of all time is a 60. That's how he grades out. That's funny. Wayne Cossey. I remember Wayne Cossey being another bit of a what if kind of story. Like he had a few decent years and then he disappeared. Cleveland takes Daddy Wags, as they should. Boston takes John Romano. I'm feeling pretty damn good about my choices here. And then Jack Kralik. Okay. I have several quality options here. Now, a dominant reliever like Lindy McDaniel would certainly go over well for me. I think we could use a big time reliever. But I'm more concerned about our starting rotation. Hey, there's another Hall of Famer, Luis Aparicio. I didn't even notice him. Also hilarious. His defense would be better than that, but regardless. Um Gary Bell is pretty good, but I think Al Jackson is just a little bit better. Oh, he's left-handed. Okay. Do I have a bunch of lefties in my rotation? Yeah, I have four lefties. I think for that reason, Gary Bell is the right choice. So let's draft Gary Bell. Stick around, Lindy. Damn it! I was hoping to get both of them. Who drafted him? And oh my god. You fucking losers, Kansas City. Damn. I was really hoping to get a good reliever. I wasn't willing to commit the resources, though, to make it happen, so I have no one to blame but myself. I mean, Roman Ramos isn't terrible. He's not anything special, but he gets the job done, I suppose. We could draft him. And let me also go ahead and make sure that Gary Bell gets his cash. I should have just taken McDaniel. I needed a big time reliever, and I voluntarily passed him up. Luke Clinton is a really good outfielder. Really good. Like, I know his offense isn't overwhelming, but he's got the defensive chops to stick around in center field. I will happily accept him into my waiting arms. Eugene Martin fucking sucks. I don't even know why he's even rated as highly as he is. I don't understand how he gets to a 41 potential. Unless it's because he's not a terrible hitter, or you're like rating him as a hitter and not as a pitcher. I mean, I appreciate the positional flexibility, but Barry Latman is not a terrible pitcher. I will pay some of money for that. Yeah, Eugene Martinez is a terrible pitcher, and I think he's being rated as a hitter. Yeah, do what you want, man. These drafts are always so disappointing because they're always so top heavy because there's so many rounds in the draft. There's just not very many good players. Barry Latman, how much money do you want? You want $27,000. You can have $30,000. No, 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 no. One too many zeros. Let's try that one again. I will pay you $750. Are any of you Chuckle Fucks worth it? Not 2,200 worth it. Mm-mm. Yeah, y'all suck. I tricked myself pretty badly there into thinking that I didn't need a reliever more than anything. This may be a draft I come to regret, unless Gary Bell proves to be the pitcher we think he can be. If Gary Bell doesn't spend very long in the minor leagues, then I think we have a chance to make it work. God, all these relievers are just so bad. Does anyone have decent stuff here with at least a modicum of control? Why do people not like Clifford Briel? Oh, because he's just gonna give up gopher balls all the time. I'm just trying to look for two green stats, and Frank Schultz comes the closest, but he. I mean, I like his leadership. His control isn't the best, but I'm at least willing to give him a chance. So, you know, a Frankie boy herein. Well, at least we did well from that perspective. Sam Jones is still kicking around here. That's funny. I like Donald here a lot, actually. I don't know why he's only ranked a 41 or 42. Like, yes, he's gonna get hit, but he's got such good pitches that I think he'll strike enough people out. Let's give him a chance. Any interesting hitters that I could add? Marv Blaylock is not what anybody would consider interesting. Jim Bulger it would be if he could. You know what? Jim Bulger is not a bad choice either. I think he's a decent utility guy that can play multiple positions pretty well. Let's grab Jimbo here. Drafted. And I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else I need to mess around with here. Alright, let me simulate all the way up to spring training, rather, and go from there. I like to spend my money giving Mickey Mantle bionic implants. You could tell me it's not possible. $6 million man is right around the corner on television. So it might even be out already. I know it was popular in the 60s, but it might have started in the late 50s. Either way, I know it's possible. I happily volunteer Mickey Mantle. Did anybody get voted in? Johnny Mize sailed in, which actually kind of surprises me. I'm here for it, but it does kind of surprise me that he sailed in without any issues there. Damn, Brett Ruffing and Slaughter are both Hall of Famers in real life, as is Dixie Walker. Pretty sure Dixie Walker's a Hall of Famer. I saw that page open. No, I don't. I'm lying to you guys. Please, forgiveness, please. Here you go. I'm pretty sure that Dixie Walker is in the Hall of Fame. I am completely full of shit. Never listen to me again. I think I keep confusing him with Harry the Hat, who I thought was also a Hall of Famer. Um, I thought he was a Hall of Famer. Maybe he's not. I guess he's not. I am just completely full of shit. Ignore every word that comes out of my mouth now. Damn Joe Gordon. No, I know Joe Gordon was a Hall of Famer, but this version not so much. Poor Tommy Bridges. Mm. Well, thank you. Maybe a little bit too late, but at least you're less terrible now. I guess. I no longer have to approach the mob to have you, um, removed. Chuck Stobbs is throwing harder. I'm all for that. Jim McDonald is throwing less hard. I'm less for that. Harvey Haddix just keeps fucking rocketing up and down, and I just don't understand it, but I'm gonna take it either way. Um, I saw guys randomly just start losing velocity for no reason. That's kind of disappointing. Not gonna lie. Okay. Alright. Turn training begins. Alright. Weisler. Meyer. Mudcat. Gary Bell. Albie Pearson. Roman Ramos. Jim Small. And John Hrosh. Wait, you think Gene Willing is such a bad hitter that he hits 8th? 9th? I don't even care at this point. We're benching Carey, which I'm fine with. What are you doing, man? Like, I don't care. I genuinely don't care. It's spring training. I just want lots of people to get lots of choices. 6 man rotation. Pod Racing, Haddix, Roy Face. Debatable. Stobbs, Cucks, McDonald. Okay. Let's simulate to the top of the month. I mean, Dick Stigman got better, but everybody else just did nothing. Damn. I'm having a sad moment. Gary Bell got better across the board. It is going to be very difficult to not give him a starting job, I think. I forgot I even had Carl Spooner. Okay. I mean, Charles Chapanorth throwing that hard can only benefit us. Another, like, if he throws so hard that his arm flies off in the middle of a pitch and it clocks the catcher in the head, that's worthwhile. All right. We have a lot of people to shift around, so let's start doing that. I'd like to carry 12 pitchers on this roster. Is even 12 too many? What about the world champion Chicago White Sox? They have 9 pitchers. I'm not going to do 9. I think 10 is reasonable. Which means a lot of you fuckers gotta go. Okay. Okay. If you're a pitcher and you suck, you are departing. Ramos, gone. I feel like I'm kind of forced to keep Schultz around just because of his stuff, of his je ne sais quoi. Monte Kennedy is just going to be cut. Minors. Who else is genuinely bad? Joe Presco can be waived. Designated for assignment. Minors. I will put Gary Bell in the minors to start the season. Um, Frank Schultz is not a starter. He's a reliever. Jim McDonald just hasn't been relevant. I mean, he's been decent in the past. If I return him to the state of being a reliever, does he get appreciably better? He does. Bauman to the minors. I still have way too many pitchers, don't I? 14 pitchers. Joey J to the minors. Wilbur Lansing to the minors. Donald Asplund is actually a really good pitcher, and I'm not going to give him up. I think he gets to make the team. What if anyone would trade for Ernie Johnson? There has to be somebody who's like, oh my god, Ernie Johnson, he's the key to all of our success. No, there is not. I will try to get him through waivers then, and if somebody claims him, they claim him. I don't care. Alright, I'm not down to 11 pitchers, which I still think is excessive, but I think it's the right choice to have 11 pitchers for now. Catchers are fine. Ed Boucher is not making the roster. Billy Gardner is not making the roster. John Harash is not making the roster. D Maestri is so good defensively, he's better than Dashkovich. Gotta go to 3 more position players. Small, Pearson, All right. We'll sim up to opening day, and then what I will do is I will quickly step away, and I'll be back in just a bit. Okay, you want me to win the pennant? I want me to win the pennant too. We'll see. All right, let's set the rotation and the lineup. Okay, we're gonna run 5-man rotation. Our ace is pretty patently going to be Johnny Pod Racing. Harvey Haddix is going to be our number 2 starter. Then Cuxton Stobbs. And then I think we try an experiment. This isn't exact. No, I can't even use Tom Morgan anymore. He's lost his ability to throw for stamina. Hmm. I need an actual starting pitcher. Joey J is not that. I don't trust his lack of stamina. Certainly not in this age. Philip Gilbert, meh. Murray Dickinson, meh. I don't need yet another righty, or lefty rather. So I guess the question then becomes, do we give the ball to Mudcat Grant or Gary Bell? I think we're going to try Mudcat to start the year. And Mudcat Grant's going to be our 5th starter. I'm going to turn off that silly 2-way player bullshit. He is a 1-way player. He is a pitcher and nothing else. He's not a good enough hitter to let him even hit on part-time. I'd rather him start every 5 days. Okay. One second. Frank Duncan III has been our primary reliever now for a couple seasons, but I think Charles Grimsley is just better. I think he's just a better choice. So we're going to go ahead and let Mr. Grimsley here be our stopper. It's the 8th or close game, want him in. Then I want Frank Duncan being the middle reliever that gets used more often. Same with Donald Asplund. Frank Schultz can be a long reliever emergency starter if we need one. No. Where did he go? Here he is. Not you. And then the 2 of you are just getting middle relief. Lineups. No, 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 no. Blew all this shit up. Alright. Red Sherndines has started to lose his batting eye, which means he's not going to be the leadoff guy we hoped he would. How good is Andy Carey as the second baseman? He's got a really high ceiling. So I think what we do is we go ahead and we let a red play. But I think Andy Carey. Let's actually do it on this screen here. That way I can clear the depth chart. And please use my own scout. Thank you very much. All right. I'm just gonna get rid of that for now. All right. His number one backup is going to be Andy Carey, and I want Andy Carey starting at second base every 5 games. I want him playing second base regularly, so that when it comes time to pass on from him, I have a quality second baseman waiting for an opportunity. Hitting leadoff, playing left field will and always will be Gene Woodling. It's what he's best at. This then sets the table pretty nicely for Mantle to hit third or fourth, and I think having him at third is the appropriate decision just because it gets him more at bats. I don't love him playing center field, I'll be honest with you, but he's also the best choice I have at the moment, so I will accept it. So who hits cleanup? I think it's Colavito. I think he has earned our trust to be the cleanup hitter, so we're going to let him hit fourth. Ernie Banks hits fifth. Ken Boyer hits seventh and plays third. And Frank Thomas is going to be playing first base. And hitting eighth will be Stan Lopata. Okay. Backups all around. Lou Berberet backs up Lopata, obviously. Andy Carey can back up at first base. I have every confidence in his ability to play first base well. And at third base. Dio Maestri is going to back up at shortstop. And he's also going to be the third tier backup at second base. Andy Carey is also instantly our number one pinch hitter. Cleveland Clark can no longer play center field. He is strictly a corner outfielder now. I still like the fact that he's a captain, though. So we will let him back up at left field, I guess. This then makes Jim Bolger even more important because he can play center field. Okay. Walt Marin is going to be a backup at both corners. And he will serve as our number two pinch hitter. Bolger will be third. Cleveland Clark still has some pretty crazy wheels, so I think he's still our best choice as pinch runner. If we need one. Does any player not have a role? Chuck Stobbs is pretty terrible at hitting. I'm just going to really quickly turn off his two-way player nonsense. I don't want him hitting. I want him pitching. Okay. I want a fourth pinch hitter. And I guess that means Berberet. Just in case. Alright. I'm going to copy this depth chart and this lineup. We're going to paste it over. There you go. Alright. No, you're both ready, so there won't really be a platoon split. Very good. Any character at this point is waiting for Red Sherndines to break down to the point where I can bench him. But we found ourselves in an interesting scenario because my best leaders are all part-time players. Hmm. Oh, did Muckhack Grant get his spot? He did. He is on the 40 man now. Amazing. Here we go. Do I? Yes, I do. Hey, shitheads. I'll go to AAA. Well, starting season 1 and 5 is certainly not the way to show that we have improved. Ken Boyer's improved his plate discipline, though. That I do appreciate. Okay, great. Our first injury comes this early in the season. Backup catcher is not an area that I think we've adequately addressed. Pete Daly is not a great catcher, but he'll get the job done for the moment. I kind of have to do that. This seems that Berberet is now our starting catcher, because I trust him more than I trust the new guy. Our lineup is very right-handed. I didn't realize that. Not intentional, but certainly interesting. And doesn't my park eat right-handed pitching? No, it eats left-handed hitting. So actually, I think it might. No, it's right-handed hitters. Yeah, they hit fewer home runs in my park. Interdasting. Are you fucking joking me? Okay. Different 10 to 0 loss. Okay. Alright. Who the fuck now is Disney for assignment? Oh, these two guys. I think I'm just meant to cut them. Probably hit limits again. Hey, we started off 1 and 5, but are now 7 and 7, so we're already starting to make improvements, which is good. Okay, Ken Boyer's getting better. Billy Gardner is getting bad. Okay. Okay. Top hitter is Mickey Mantle. That's excellent news. He almost has as many home runs as he did all last season. That's pretty funny. In a fifth of the at bats. Okay, Stan Lopata returns. Pete Daly returns to AAA. Mr. Berberet, I would like you to start once a week now. I just want to make sure we're giving Lopata plenty of rest because he's kind of my secret weapon. He's not an incredible catcher, but he does hit the ball really hard, and that is always valuable. It is always a good thing to hit baseballs hard. All right. I was gonna say, I wonder why Mickey Mantle isn't Pitter of the Month against the because the month isn't done yet. Okay, Ernie Banks and Mickey Mantle being second and third in home runs hit is very exciting to see. Grimsley's throwing even harder than he did before, which is amazing. I love that for us. Ernie Banks has gotten better. Jim Bolger has gotten better. Rocky Colavito's gotten better at defense. Always appreciated. Gary Bell's gotten slightly worse, which concerns me. I need Albie Pearson to have a breakout season. I need him to have it fairly soon because I need a reliable outfielder pretty desperately in case something happens. So, um, Chuck Stobbs is struggling this year. He's just getting hit harder, but his peripherals actually look better than last year. He's just getting hit harder for some reason, which is not much I can do about. Mudcat Grant is actually handling himself reasonably well. The walks are still happening way too frequent. This number has to come way the fuck down if he's going to be a useful pitcher, but at least for the moment, I'm content to let him figure it out. Frank Thomas is badly struggling. I think Ken Boyer gets moved up the lineup, as does Lopata. Um, Otherwise, we are looking good, friends. We are looking good. Um, hmm. I want to give Frank Thomas a little bit more time to figure out if he's going to bounce back or not, but I think Ed Boucher might have a chance. Maybe even Jim Lemon might have a chance to show what they can do in the major leagues if Frank Thomas can't figure it out. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and jump ahead another month and see where that leaves us, and then we can make some decisions then about what we can do to maybe push us over the hump. We need a winning streak, like a decent sized winning streak that includes a series or two against the Pirates. That's kind of where we're at right now. We're certainly playing well, but this is going to be a dogfight from start to finish if we can't figure it out. All right, what are we looking at now? Again, it's not Grant that's the problem, it's Stobbs. And it's hard for me to look at him and say, yes, he's playing badly. I don't know. But I don't think Stobbs can be my starting pitcher anymore. Like, his only skill is not walking people. And I think that's just a better the profile of a reliever than a starter. Frank Duncan is pitching okay. He's just, yeah. All right. I need at least one starting pitcher, maybe two. And this is not the market for it. This is absolutely not the market for it. I mean, I guess the solution would be to call up Gary Bell and then send Chuck Stobbs to the minor leagues. Because Stobbs is what he is at this point. He's never going to get any better. Man, I wish a single starting pitcher would actually make waves and just be really impressive. I mean, I guess I could try Joey J. You know what? I fail to see how it would be any worse than letting Stobbs do it. So let's go ahead. Let me actually first see if I can trade Stobbs. And I will add veterans in too, because I will take on salary if I can get a good starting pitcher out of it. I mean, Jim Hearn is better than Stobbs, but not by very much. I'll just take Joe Caffey. What if you gave me Roger Maris? No, I'm joking. Yeah, I'm not going to give you something else for a pitcher of that caliber, so I'll just make that trade. And yeah, we're going to go with Joey J. We're going to give him a shot to start games. I still want a veteran starter quite badly, but it's going to take us up before we can find one in our price range. Damn. That's pretty impressive. Okay. Staff roles. Personnel. Red Cowsey can stick around. I don't have any reason to make him leave. Ernie Nitsky is an interesting pitching coach, and that he gets along well with a very small subsection. Um, he might be a place we can upgrade our coaching staff. Let me keep. Let's offer Joe Williams an extension. I think he's as good as we're likely to come across. Corrigan is a pretty good coach. Let's go ahead and give him an extension, but I do think we're gonna let. I do think we try to get a better pitching coach, someone who has better relationships with our existing players. I think that's fair. All right, Harvey Haddix, Charles Grimsley, Ken Boyer, Red Schoendienst, Mickey Mantle, and Ernie Banks. That's a pretty good all-star team. How many of them are actually starting? Mantle, Banks, and Schoendienst, even though he's actually not having a great season. I think his defense is atrophying, so we might have to find a way to deal with that too. Has Andy Carey picked up any ability to play second base? No, he's actually played quite poorly. He's handling second base okay, though. It just seems like he's struggling to hit consistently. For right now, I'm not going to worry about it. But I do think there is a time in the near future where we will be replacing Mr. Schoendienst. Okay. Let's simulate up to the trading deadline. Yeah, if we can just beat up the Pirates and keep winning lots of games, I feel good about our chances here. How good is Herbert Holmes? He is pretty mediocre. I reject your trade offer. No. Abso-fucking-lutely not. How dare you? Mm, okay, but not the best. Alright. I'm in the market for a quality starting pitcher, because Lord knows Joey J is not getting it done. Although he looks worse than he is, because he's striking lots of people out, he's just also walking lots of them. But I do think a veteran starting pitcher would really help this team out a lot. Yeah. And I could just start Gary Bell. If Joey J is really that bad, I'd rather start Bell, who at least has a lot more upside. But I'd like to get a veteran starter instead. I think that is my preference. So let's get started. Tommy Burgess isn't that impressive. George Jefferson is. He keeps the ball down, but his pitches aren't that great. He's having a good season though. Jefferson is a definite possibility. It's going to depend how much it's going to cost me to bring him in. You're asking for pretty damn good players. I don't think that's going to happen. Um. Okay, looks like two mediocre pitchers don't move the needle for you. I mean, I'm gonna feel so stupid if I get too attached to a mediocre lead pitcher in Roy Face. What if I just gave you Roy Face? If you're really that excited to have him on your club. Okay. Yeah, let's make it happen. Then what I'll do is I'll put Joey J in the bullpen, where I think his issues will be less exposed. I'm gonna have you avoid high leverage as you just build up your capabilities. Let's use Frank less often. That seems reasonable too. Okay. Do we try to grab Hoyt Wilhelm to strengthen our bullpen? Is Dick Murray good? Dick Murray is not good. Hoyd Wilhelm on the other hand is just a good pitcher, and I think I could really use him. So let's try to get him from the A's. And I can do it for a fairly minor trade, it looks like. You want Leonard and McBride? You can have Leonard and McBride. And then you're definitely going to be used more often. I'm actually going to make you my setup guy. Just because I think Charles Grimsley's done a pretty damn good job this season, but I think having another veteran arm in this bullpen is just going to help us that much more. All right. Let us now go to the next sim. All right. Dennis Athland is throwing softer. That's concerning. Ken Boyer is getting better, though, which is excellent news. Okay. Who's my top rookie? It's Mudcat Grant. Okay. The 3 weeks isn't the worst. I mean, I feel bad for the dude, but I've got enough similar tier relievers that I'm confident that he can figure it out. This is just purely manipulating the system here. I'd rather just call him up when rosters expand. This is a pivotal series against the Pirates. If we can sweep them, I think we're in good shape. But it's certainly not a guarantee. Certainly not a guarantee. Albie Pearson is really improving quite a lot. But not enough. I still think he needs more time to season, so I think I'm just gonna leave him there the rest of the season. Um, I think Boucher and Lemon both get called up, as does Frank Schultz. But I'm not going to give anybody specific jobs here. No, I guess I should. Generate depth chart. No. I do not mind Ed Boucher getting plenty of playing time. That I'm fine with. I guess my real question is, do I also call up Gary Bell? I kind of feel like giving him an early exposure to the major leagues is a good thing. Because he should be developing quite quickly. Yeah, let's do it. Um, you're gonna be an emergency starter for me, and Frank Schultz is just gonna be a little bit of use less often. Nah, it's fine. I just want him to get a chance to challenge himself. Um, and while the stakes are still fairly high, we are in the fact in the middle of a postseason race. I don't think whether he fills out the back of the bullpen or not is going to make a huge difference. We just need to win relentlessly. That's going to be our mantra: win relentlessly. No matter who we're playing, win the damn game. Now losing Ken Boyer really sucks because he has done a huge amount of work this season. But I can't do anything about it. I can place him on the IL and call up Dashkovich. Yeah, Dashkovich. He's not. I mean, he's not a third baseman, but I'll tell you who is Andy Carey. Oops. Generate that depth chart, please. And the same over here. I don't know why you think Frank Thomas is not randomly playing third base, but okay. That's fine. Losing Boyer is gonna hurt a lot. Which is really unfortunate. Because this is the exact time of year we need to be at our very, very best. Um, if at any minute the Pirates wanted to just go into a tailspin, that would be very appreciated. It would be very kind of you to just start losing lots of baseball games. Okay, Cleveland. You know what, man? You were a nifty little pickup for me. When we needed a quality center fielder, you gave us 2 quality years of high performance. And you are useful fill in and provide a veteran leadership. You know what, bro? Hats fucking off to you. Let's try to get you a ring on your way out. Oh my god. Oh, we did it, guys. We won the fucking pennant. Oh my word. And Mickey Mantle won the batting title. Lest you forget, though, I think this is relevant. If not for Ernie Banks, who would have won the Triple Crown. Mickey Mantle is worth 13 wins above replacement. It turns out having a healthy Mickey Mantle is useful for making the postseason. Who knew? Um, wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is a guy who was already good. And then it's like, oh, wait, I could be better. And then he was. Damn. Okay, 13.6 WAR has to be one of the best seasons of all time. It has to be. This was, in fact, the best season in Major League Baseball history. That is fucking wild. Turns out he's pretty good. Who knew? Oh, let's advance it. Oh, we already are on playoff roster time. Who are we leaving off? I can't leave Cleveland Clark off the postseason roster, although part of me wants to, because I think he's earned it. I genuinely think that he has earned it. All right, let's fucking go, guys. Can we defeat the Cleveland Guardians? I sure hope so. That's not a great start, but it's okay. It's okay. That's less okay. Come on, guys. Mickey. Don't cuck us, Johnny. There we go. A dramatic walk-off win. You love to see it. 16 innings. Oh my lord. Yeah, see, I know that you're in the middle of the World Series, but what if I told you about this obscure pitcher retiring? There we go. Okay. All right. Knotted it up. Very close game. Come on, guys. I believe at you. Boom! World fucking Series. This is despite Mickey Man. Actually, Mickey Mantle did turn it around and have a pretty good season. Look at Ernie fucking Banks, man. 3 home runs, 828 slugging percentage. Wow. Oh, fucking yeah. It turns out all it takes to win the World Series is just the single best season from a player in the history of Major League Baseball. Easy. No problems. Damn. What an incredible season this was. And this is even without I mean, first of all, okay, two things happened this season as we wait for things to sim out. First of all, only Ken Boyer got hurt in a significant way. That was massive. We kept Mickey Mantle healthy. So honestly, the team trainer, here's your fucking World Series ring, bro. You earned it. As much as losing Ken Boyer hurt, and it did, I would have lost Ken Boyer for the entire season rather than lose Mickey Mantle. How did you get a fucking foot contusion after the damn season is over? You got into a fight with your neighbor. Bro, you're already fucking on thin ice. I would not be starting shit. You can't finish. Wow. Here's the thing. Willie Mays and Al Kaline had two of the best seasons in Major League history. They just weren't the best. What an incredible season we had. 93 wins, the World Series, just beautiful. I mean, am I gonna be greedy and say I wish I'd gotten the Triple Crown? Yes, but that's okay because Ernie Banks was our World Series MVP, and so if Mr. Card, that's right, I fucking went there. You know what? No, it's happening. As soon as this game is done simming, I'm gonna fucking rename his nickname. This is the real Ernie Banks. He was never a Cub. He was a St. Louis Cardinal the whole time. Eat it, Chicago fans. Um, yeah. I did not know that about Billy Sullivan, given that I've literally never heard of him until right this second. I really want to see um what am I trying to say here? I would really love to see this game really start to harvest the really obscure fucking stats. Like, you control the entire database. It's a matter of seconds to create something that's like, who has the highest batting average on Tuesdays in August while hitting switch hitted. Like, that would be amazing, right? Like, that would be pretty sweet. I don't know. I have an explanation. I won the fucking World Series. You better be delighted, you fucking shithead. Oh my gosh. What a season. I'm just going to save the game so I don't forget, and then we will break down who did well this season. Um, wow. Oh, what a season. Let's not just celebrate Mickey Mantle playing out of his goddamn mind. And by the way, he was a perfectly cromulent center fielder on top of it, which is amazing. Rocky Colavito actually got better than he did last season. His power was a little bit lower, but he put the ball in play and got more hits and really cut back on strikeouts, which I appreciate. He had a fantastic season. Ernie Banks had a phenomenal season as well. Um, I what I like him to draw more walks, yes, but he was still a vital part of this team, even if he wasn't a great shortstop. Ken Boyer, his only crime was getting hurt, because he was having a pretty sensational season in his own right and playing pretty damn good third base on top of it, except for the errors. Stan Lopata, 3 seasons, 3 WAR, easy choice. He just makes it look easy. Rud Schoendienst is starting to slip. I think of all the players on this roster, his job is the most vulnerable, especially because he was also dog shit at second base. I do think, as much as I like him, I think he has to be sent on his way. No, 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 no. Stuart Cardinal. Suck it, nerds. Um, Gene Woodling is really slipping. He's another guy that might be replaced sooner rather than later. He still does his job, which is getting on base and hitting fairly well. But he's basically a statue in left field. If Albie Pearson develops the way that I think he might, I think he's got a really good chance to be a useful player. Some nice performances off the bench, and then there was Frank Thomas, who was basically a non-factor this season. I don't know what we're gonna do with him, but he has declined significantly in a very short period of time, and I think we at least need to entertain the idea of letting Ed Boucher or Jim Gentile start first base next season. Andy Carey had a rough year. A rough year. We'll have to see what he can do with, depending on how much playing time he gets, maybe he'll be even better. Let's look at our pitching staff, though. George Jefferson was what we needed at the deadline. Like, he was already having a good season for Boston, and then was like, what if I pitched even better for the Cardinals? Johnny Pod Racing, Harvey Haddix, and Johnny Cucks all had pretty damn good years. Charles Grimsley was great. For a rookie season, Mudcat Grant wasn't half bad. There's still a lot of room for him to grow and get better. But I like what he accomplished. Donald Asplund really wasn't that great this year, which is a bit of an unfortunate circumstance, but I don't know why he wasn't. Other than just he walked too many guys, which is, Even Frank Schultz made himself useful, despite the fact that he's literally here only for leadership and no other reason. And Hoyt Wilhelm was obviously pretty handy. He pitched far better for St. Louis than he ever did for Kansas City, so hopefully next year he can be an even more of a stabilizing force. Friends, that is it for this episode, and an incredible season. Thank you all for watching. If you've been enjoying, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below, let me know what you think about what we should do after we're done with this tour through history again. But until next time, this has been Abguardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.